So actually, this is kind of a part two to my other video, Breaking CME Group Metals Director Harriet Hunnable to Leave, December 11th. And one of the people I follow and websites I also look at is SGT Bull, or his website's sgtreport.com. He's on top of his game. He's on it. Um, and he has an article here from Dave Kranzler, Investment Research Dynamics, and it's just what I was talking about. And I didn't catch this. um, but I'm getting someone else's opinion as opposed to my own on what I just talked about in that video. So I want to read you what this guy's thoughts are. And you may have heard this guy's name before for sure, Dave Kranzler. He's been around talking about the metals for quite a while. He says that, again, the director of the CME Metals Group announced her resignation to be effective at December 11th. No further explanation was provided, according to Reuters. He says, I'm not one to infer I'm not one to infer some type of conspiracy theory in connection with this, but it seems rather abrupt. It's akin to Ben Bernanke leaving the Fed much sooner than anyone expected. The rats are leaving the ship before it sinks, is what he says. The collapse began in earnest in 2008. This is why gold soared to all-time highs in dollar terms until late 2011. The effort to push down the price of gold is overt evidence that the systemic collapse, even with the heavy application of money printing, has been ongoing since 2008. The recurring violent hits to the price of gold using fraudulent paper gold is overt evidence that the authorities are becoming more desperate in their attempt to hide any possible market signals that the systemic collapse is accelerating. This is how gold behaved from March 2008 to October 2008. Look what happened then. So he says something catastrophic is occurring behind the curtain. I would love to have a peek at what is melting down. We can generally speculate that with oil, copper, and iron ore prices collapsing, and with emerging market currencies collapsing, there's been a series of derivatives explosions that have been contained, but that are straining the central bank's abilities to keep the system from coming completely unglued. This is also why the price of gold is being contained with brute force. We have never seen markets behave the way they're behaving right now, with absolute unpredictability. The overt intervention is a big part of what we're seeing on the surface with gold, currencies, credit markets, and the primary stock indices. But with all indications, not with, but all indications suggest a high likelihood of several train wrecks occurring at once behind the scenes. The intervention, of course, is keeping the surface indicators from crashing. So all the thermometers, price of gold, this, that, up. Nope, there must not be any problems. When there's a raging fire they're containing, so to speak. So it says the intervention, of course, is keeping the surface indicators from crashing. But the intervention has also destroyed the signal transmission and rational capital allocation mechanisms of the market. Adam Smith's invisible hand has been amputated, if you will. This is why stocks like Amazon, Facebook, Google, Netflix trade at insane PE ratios. It's debatable whether or not Amazon has bona fide economic net income in the first place. I have not looked in depth at the accounting of Facebook, Google, and Netflix to assess whether or not their net income is a function of GAAP manipulation or if they actually produce real cash flow in excess of all expenses on and off the income statement. But all of them unequivocally trade at subliminally irrational market caps, and they are the primary devices being used to keep the S&P 500 and Dow indices popped up. So that's his comment. That's it. Now it does say read more at his link, and he says the system is starting its final collapse, and he's referring to what I just said. So he says everyone, big pension funds, hedge funds, mutual funds, etc., keep the price marks on the bonds in their portfolio unchanged and holds their breath that a seller never appears who has to sell for whatever reason and forces a repricing of the bond issue, which in turn forces a repricing of the market. I've lived this nightmare as a sell-side junk bond trader running capital positions in triple C paper. So I'm gonna link to this site that SGT Bull essentially linked to and got some of this article from, so you can read it in full. It's interesting. Um, Another view similar to my own, as you saw in the other video, that this lady comes in at the right time, gold and silver exploding. She comes in, everything's melted back down, gold and silver prices are smashed. They climb a little bit and they get crushed again. And then for the last few years, several years, there's like no breathing room, or like I said, where it's like they dunked your head in the water and they're holding it down there till you're about dead. And then to the last minute, which is right about now, getting there soon, they'll pull your head up, and then oh my God, you skyrocket up for air. And that analogy is gold and silver skyrocketing up into the air. And I'll end this video by saying something I just said, in case I got 40, 50, 60 new subscribers potentially in the next couple days or previous couple days that haven't heard this yet. The government passed a law, I believe, at the very end of November, and it's twofold. There's actually two different things I think happened. One, Citigroup wrote the legislation to allow derivatives of these big banks to be bailed out by the FDIC insurance, which is supposed to be just for your and my bank accounts if a bank goes bust. Nope, let's add $10 trillion is what one of the congressmen women said the other day. That's what is on the books if they fail. So that happened. And then we had something else happen at the CME group. The same CME group that this lady, head of the metals division, is leaving abruptly. That same company changed some rules around. They put what is known as circuit breakers in gold and silver. If the price moves too much in a certain allotment of time, gold is $100. If it moves $100 within a certain amount of time, circuit breakers kick in and you can't trade for X number of minutes. Then it begins again. And if it moves again a certain amount of time, circuit breaker number 2 kicks in, you wait again. I believe it's 4 times that it can happen in a day. So therefore, that's $400 move in gold per day worth of circuit breakers, if you will. The same thing for silver, except $3 move sessions. So if it moves $3 in a certain amount of time, circuit breakers kick in. You can't buy, sell, trade silver on the exchange. Okay, your timeout's over. Turn it back on. Have at it. Up, move another $3. Shut it down again. Right in a certain amount of time. And I just as I said, I'm going to keep repeating this for new subscribers. They never do stuff like at the last minute. These people are controlling everything, so they know what they have to do in advance. All these years, we're talking decades, and especially in recent times, we had $49 silver, 1900 gold. Where were these circuit breakers then? They didn't exist. And when they smashed the price, they didn't exist either. They crushed it. No circuit breaker stopping that. That's because you're getting crushed. But if you're expecting, and the elite know they're going to be, these prices of precious metals are going to go crazy high, they got to contain that. Let's change the rules at the CME group. It's a privately owned company. It's not some regulator or nothing. It's a privately owned company. They just change the rules, modify the rules, add new rules, whatever, and everything's fine. So they added some rules to gold and silver. We got to cap it now if there's any big moves. Now, bear with me. We're at 14 and something change on silver. Do you think they would put in $12 a day worth of silver potential, right, to move? It's $12, $3 4 times a day in that circuit break it nonsense. That's $12. Gold was $400. If they're gonna smash them, do you think they're looking out for you and I, the little guy? They put these in there to keep us safe and hey, good job? No, they're gonna crush you so that you don't get near that precious metal and you stay far away from it because they kept the price down for so long to teach you a lesson. And it started coming up and they smashed it. Maybe you had a paper contract out, you got a margin call. Oh damn, I'm never doing that again. And now they're going to be Mr. Nice Guy and put some circuit breakers in to keep the market stable? Oh, no, 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 no. You are a fool if you think that's why they're doing it. They are doing it because they don't, or not because they don't, they have to keep a lid, so to speak, on that exploding rocket of price for precious metals. And they can do it by halt all trading. All prices of gold and silver, supposedly, not supposedly, they are set at the COMEX, the CME group. So if the CME group, we're halting trading, the whole world can't get a price on gold and silver. You can only go back to, it's on a circuit breaker. Well, I'm the one selling it. I want to know where it's about to go next. So I'm taking my contract out. No, I'm going to hold on to this, babe. I'm canceling that contract. Oh, wait, you can't. Market shut down. It's like pause, right? It's on pause. So you're going to see people going crazy. As the webbot said numerous times, fairly recently as well, there is going to be a panic. It said, not to own gold, a panic to own silver would be coming soon, sometime in the near future. Don't know exactly when, but it said this a while back. It also talked about Bitcoin rising. Watch Bitcoin rising. When it gets to 408, it'll settle back down. Then it goes again down. Third time, it should be late November, it said, plus or minus a few days. It's always not perfect. Actually, I shouldn't say that because sometimes it is spot on with the date and time, but it's not always perfect. And the disclaimer for the webbot is that don't hold us accountable if it's off a little bit or whatever. Here we are, and just yesterday, it got to 408. We've been waiting days and 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 days. Is it really going to do it? People are thinking, is it really going to do it? It did it. Web checkmark, webbot right again. And it said if it does it this last time towards the end of November, it should signify, according to the data, same data, big rise in silver, precious metals, but focused on silver. Previous reports to that one, and not just one or two, but several, there's going to be a panic to own silver in the near future. And here's where I'm going to go with that. I don't know necessarily that means the panic's going to happen here. Like, in other words, if we see this big move in silver, let's just say it, jump $6. Oh my gosh, 20, 21 bucks. Oh my God, it just happened like in 2 days. Holy crap. Check mark, webbot's correct, right? That doesn't necessarily, to me, mean, there's going to be a panic now, right now. That could be the beginning of, oh my God, it got even higher than next. Oh my God, what the hell is going on in the silver market? Oh my God, we took a $5 move today, which is another prediction the webbot said would happen when silver got let loose. It said you would see $5 a day moves. And then to freak you out even more, $20 a day moves. That doesn't mean it goes up $20 per se, right? A $20 move in the span of trading. But I'm here to tell you, I think you're going to see huge upside in that $20 move, one way or the other. It can move 18, 19, 20 bucks and then come down 5, or maybe it moved 15 and came down 5, it's back at 10, etc. But you're going to see big moves according to the webbot. And it said this so long ago. And for anyone that doesn't know what the hell the webbot is, just type in JSNP4 webbot summary and have at it. I'll see you in a few years when you're done listening to me talk about it. But the creator, Cliff High, has been doing it since 1997. The website is halfpasthuman.com. You can buy the reports for like 10 or 15 bucks. And I get pretty much just about every one of them. And I do my summary of it, so I don't read you the whole report. I only pick and choose because I can't freaking copyright infringement on this poor guy. People got to make a living. So does Cliff. But if you want the full reports to hear everything it had to say about all the stuff, including precious metals and all that stuff, it's in there. Again, for $10 or $15, it's like nothing. As I said, I think in the other video, someone email me. I've never talked to you, but I just wanted to say I thought essentially you're a little weird on the webbot thing. I thought I was highly skeptical of that. But damn, I'll be damned Bitcoin's back at 408. I'm going to buy some silver right now. That's essentially what he said. I'm sold. I'm going to buy some silver. Just keep in mind, the club can do a number on silver one last time if they want, and really bang it out hard and say, oh my God, I just got crushed. If you see that happen in the very near future, you better find any source of extra income, credit card, whatever it is, and load the boat if they do the number on silver and push it down. Because all the things that Webbot got right in the last 3 months, which is now like 6 things, I've talked about every one of them, 5 or 6 things now. And I kept saying it, we're waiting for this one final one. I know the other ones are right and they've happened, but they all lead to the silver thing rising big time. We want to see that. We've had enough pain for the last several years. We want to see this thing finally break out. And by God, everything has lined up like it said it would in advance. It predicted it. So like I said, I'd be a fool to sit here and think that precious metals, especially silver, are not about to rise. And then we got this story. This lady leaving the CME group who was put in place right when this crazy smashing of precious metals occurred and were held down all these years up until potentially the 11th, which is Friday, when she leaves, or soon after, right? I mean, I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to post you this link if you want to read this full article. And I will say, I might have normally said don't hold your breath on silver anytime soon, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, go ahead and hold your breath because I think it's going to be here shortly. The long awaited time. And I'm dying to hear guys like Jeffrey Christensen and some of these bozos, the mainstream pundits, gold and silver, and I bet you could spend time writing them. Hey, so and so, and this big figurehead, did you won't even get a response. I wonder if they're even going to mention anything about gold and silver after they've already poo-pooed it, and it turns around and blows through the roof, high prices. I wonder if they're going to get on there and I know I said it was not looking good, but apparently, metals, their favorite line, metals prices have unexpectedly risen today. Silver has unexpectedly rose again for the third day. Gold has unexpectedly risen again for the fourth time. Unexpectedly, huh? That's the favorite term they like. Markets are down today, unexpected. Who the hell writes this? Unexpectedly. The hell is this? Don't they know I got a WebBot report in my back pocket? It is very expectedly. Take care.